Hey Brianna, it's Tyler here, and I've just gone ahead and shot this over-the-shoulder video to sort of help explain maybe where your website's at the moment and the approach that we can take to try and build up your online presence. So I apologize, this came out a little later than I wanted to, but it's just been a busy last few weeks of the summer and then trying to get back into the swing of things here in September. So I'm going to try and speak quite quickly. These videos tend to run on a little longer than I would like, but hopefully you can sort of watch it and maybe watch it a few times or stop it and reference it as you go. I'm going to try and basically explain sort of how I would be able to help in terms of building up your online presence. So again, I'm going to try and speak quite quickly so this doesn't go on too long. But thank you for filling out the form here. It's something that I always go back and we can reference if we do start working together. It gives me sort of an inside look into how a website maybe should be designed and sort of learning more about the exact services that you offer, who your ideal customer is and whatnot. So in going over this, I understand that your services that you're going to offer is going to be maybe a bit more than just chiropractor services. And it seems like a lot of your other competitors maybe do the same sort of thing. So sure, you've got your chiropractic services as a chiropractor, but then you've also got your acupuncture, cupping therapy, orthotics, and whatnot, and so on. So initially, sometimes that could be a little harder in terms of setting the website up with a proper brand name and basically how to set your homepage up. But it seems that at a quick glance, just looking at your competitors, and I'll dive into this a bit more, it seems like many of them are focused mainly on their chiropractor services on their homepage, and then sort of their other pages within the website kind of focus on the other services. So I would imagine that, chiropractor, Waterloo chiropractor would be a bigger term than perhaps people searching for cupping therapy or orthotics or acupuncture. So I think we would take the same lines as your competitor. And I'll just bring up one here, the Price Health. So pricehealth.ca, you can see that their main focus is, in their branding of their brand name is sort of health and wellness. So you've sort of touched on that your approach is basically a healthcare business as well, but they've clearly set up their homepage for terms associated with chiropractic care and chiropractor, and then they've got their other pages for physiotherapy, massage, and their other services as well. So I would think that you would want to do the same sort of thing, set it up as your homepage focuses on the chiropractor Waterloo term, and then you can share that you do your other services as well. I think for your online presence and getting found on the internet through Google, this would be a term, chiropractor Waterloo, would be one that you'd want to sort of have as your main focus for ranking, and then the other services that you would offer, such as they would just like they offer, would be on an inner sort of page. It wouldn't be the homepage main focus. So I hope that's sort of clear, but that looks like the best way to go. And then here I can see, your ideal client is, a female in her, a 20 to 50 there, interested in perhaps alternative and holistic care. So some of these things, it seems like you're more on the alternative holistic sort of viewpoint rather than, a website where it's, a doctor in a white jacket and it's very clinical or very health, like hospital-like feel. You perhaps want something that's a bit more of the alternative holistic spa sort of environment. So that's important to know because your whole web design could kind of touch on that. So what you've sort of done here with your website is sort of given off that feel as well. So this is done through Wix, and basically when I come in work with people, we like to focus on two parts here. So there's basically the web design, okay, and that's basically what your website looks like. And then there's the SEO, and that has to do with helping you get found on the internet. So found through Google. So people are going to search for your services and they're going to find your website. So you need a nice good looking website that functions properly, but you also need proper SEO so people can actually find your website on the internet. And SEO, there's what we call on page and off page. So I'm not going to get too technical here, but on page deals with how your web design, how your website is set up. So the words on the page and the structure of the page and how that headlines and the titles are set up. So if we just quickly look at your website here, we can see that, like I mentioned, it's done through the website builder Wix, and you've got, some proper words and whatnot. What we would do is just make sure that the website has the proper headlines and subheadlines and words on the front page and all the pages. So it's set up in the best way to be found when someone searches for example, a chiropractor. So one quick example, if we go over and we check the title of your particular homepage right now, it just reads Dr. Brianna Fox. So ideally, it's not optimized properly. So the on-page SEO factors sort of aren't in place right now. And although I believe this site is still brand new or quite new, if we do check if it's indexed in Google, it's currently not indexed. So if you do site : Brianna Fox, nothing is showing up right now. So that could just be that the site's brand new, or it might be that, the back end of it is just not set up in the best way possible. Now, if we go and we just check your competitor quickly, if we hover over the title that they have, they've got chiropractor, Waterloo, Ontario, price, chiropractic, and fitness. So right there, that's an optimized title. The on page is good. They've got their main keyword there, chiropractor Waterloo, in their headline of their homepage. So that's basically on-page SEO. And then they've got basically the voted #1 chiropractic clinic. So they've got a good headline there. And then they talk about some of their other services as well on their homepage. So that's basically the on-page factor and your web design. And then the other part is the off-page SEO factor. So I'm not going to jump into too much detail, but if we plug in briannafox.com into some tools that analyze how your website is set up in Google's eyes, you can just see that there's basically no data, and that happens because the site's brand new. You don't have, you haven't done any work on it, and it's just, it's a brand new site. Whereas if you jump over and we look at some of your other competitors here, here's one, Waterloo Chiropractor. You can see they've got a good title as well, Chiropractor Waterloo, Kitchener, Ontario, Martin Chiropractor Clinic. And if we jump and we analyze what they're doing, you can just see that they've got a bit more happening. Their site's established, and they have, in Google's eyes, they have more going on sort of in the back end, the whole SEO factor. So I'm not going to dive into all these metrics, but one is called referring domains. So these guys have 21. Basically, they have 21 other websites linking to them. And if we look at your other competitor, Price Health, they've got 39 other websites linking to them. So basically, a very easy explanation here is you've got your website here. And right now, at the moment, it's briannafox.com. And there are no other websites linking to you. So in Google's eyes, basically, it doesn't know you. It doesn't know that your website exists. It doesn't know that Brianna Fox is a healthcare professional who offers these services, and yada, yada, yada. Google's eyes, they doesn't know that. Therefore, when people go to Google or they search you online, you're not going to come up. You're not going to be found. Whereas once you get other websites linking to you like your competitors have, so you might have a health website, you might have a website about back pain, you might have a listing in Yellow Pages and whatnot. Once they link to you from their website, then Google will see, hey, briannafox.com is getting these links from these health websites, these chiropractor websites, these business listing. It must be a legitimate business. Therefore, when someone searches for chiropractor services in Waterloo, we're going to show briannafox.com as the #1 listing. that's basically the work that is done through SEO. So you've got your web design, a nice looking site. It's set up properly with your on page as the proper images, the proper headlines. And then the other aspect of it is that it's got all these good votes of references from all these other related websites. And Google reads that and understands that. And then it basically, you will show up, on the first page of Google for your services. So that's basically the gist of what we help with. So in jumping over to basically the design right now, if we were to come and help you do this website, we probably would basically do a website not on the platform that you have right now. We would build it on WordPress and manage it that way. So I'm going to just show you some examples of some of the platforms that you could basically work with in the design that we would work with. And it's done through a builder called Audit. So I'll give this link to you directly below this video, and you can come here. And basically, Audit, this has all these templates. So we would work with a template, and basically we would just change it up and customize it for your specific services and your specific industry and whatnot. But you can see there's a whole whack of these websites that are built and that we sort of jump in and customize. So one is a health sort of design, and you can see this design here. I would think that just based on the entries that you filled out, Brianna, this would probably maybe not be an ideal design. It's a bit more health and sort of doctor type of feel, or that sort of white jacket sort of chiropractor type of feel, which maybe you want, but maybe it's a bit maybe too sort of hospital-like type of feel. But of course, if you love it, that would be a design that we can do. There's always the classic Audit design. So that would be this one right here that you can check out. And it just shows the website very clean and professional. And basically, these templates we would use these templates, and then the only real things that would sort of be the same would just be the flow and the overall look and maybe the font. So you can change the color, and obviously all the images would be changed as well. Now, they also do have a spa theme here, and I thought this one could work really well with, basically just what you filled out from your form. You can maybe change up and decide not to use this one, but basically this would be like a layout of your theme. So you'd have your brand name there, and obviously all the images would get changed, but you can keep sort of the structure and the feel of this particular website. The images, the font, colors can all change, but you've got here your luxury spa experiences. You can change that to the health and wellness services that you offer, and so forth. So I'll include these below this video that you can just go and sort of look through. And again, it would just be the whole sort of overall feel and design of the site that you would keep, not necessarily all the pictures, but you can do the colors and whatnot. And you can just see how these pages are sort of set up. So this would be a particular design that we would use if we were to kind of work together. It would be one of these Avada theme designs. So basically what you have right now works, but I think that moving forward, I would only work with this particular website if we moved away from Wix. It's just not a platform that I personally work with. And then the other thing that we did talk about was just your brand name there. So if we move back to this demonstration here, and I don't want to get into too much sort of technical details, but basically your website right now is set up as briannafox.com. So those little votes of reference that I referred to, these other websites linking to you, when Google reads that, it reads a link from website A to briannafox.com, briannafox.com, third website, briannafox.com. So right away, Google understands that your website is about Brianna Fox, not necessarily your services. So that's basically why you can keep that as a brand name, but you would want to build up your website on a domain that's more in line with your services. So your competitor here has waterloochiropractor.ca. Your other competitor here has Price Health. So they've got health in the domain. So that's ideal. But the best way really is to try and get some sort of mix between brand and your location and service. So the reason why is just at the beginning, it's just much easier if your website was Waterloo Chiropractor. Then when you get all these votes of confidence, these links from other websites when you're initially building up your online presence, and they all read Waterloo Chiropractor, when Google goes and reads these links, right away it knows that your website is about chiropractic services in Waterloo. So it's just easier, it's better. It's a better way to rank on Google. Now you can certainly overcome that, but it's just more difficult. It's ideally you would want to get your chiropractic or chiropractor type of service in your domain name for the purposes of ranking. And then any brand name you can always just forward to these other websites. But ideally, you're going to get a better chance to rank well if you have sort of your keyword or within your domain name if possible. So I've actually gone ahead and looked at, and I actually picked up foxchiropractic.ca. So if that's something you want to work with, you can always work with that. And then briannafox.com, you can just forward to this domain. But basically building up everything on this platform is much more, it's ideal, it's better. Certainly it's not a must, but I would recommend that your domain name has something like chiropractic in it, or at least health or something of that nature, to help Google understand that, hey, this is what your website is about initially. Now, the other things that I wanted to touch on here, but not letting this run on too long. So basically that's what we have here. So you've got your web design, and that is basically with potentially that Avada theme. And then you've got your SEO work to be done, and that would be services that we'd offer, getting those other websites to link to you and having that done through a really good domain name that sort of has, a chiropractic or something in the domain name there, okay? Now, the other part of it is when people search for you, they want to find you, you're going to have to set up, or we're going to have to set up this Google My Business account. So if you go over to Google and you type in Waterloo Chiropractor, this first section is called the Google Maps, and these are all set up because these businesses, Price Chiropractic, Martin Chiropractic Clinic, they have a Google My Business account set up. So this is something that we will want to set up, and this is where you would get reviews, and it's where your website would potentially get found in the Google Maps listing. So to set that up, you just need a Gmail account, and then you want to associate your website with this Google My Business. Now, to get it verified, you might need a legitimate address and a phone number. So basically, you'd want to maybe set this up after you're already in your clinic. Sometimes if you set this up with an address and a phone number, Google's going to want to actually call you to verify and confirm that address and that phone number is a legitimate business that's set up in that location. So this might not be something that we can do right away, but it is something you will want to get set up. It's a Google My Business account, and you'll need a Gmail, and then you'll need to validate or verify your address there. So basically that's the main profile, or the main thing that you'll want to set up. And then beyond that would be anything else like your Facebook and your other social media accounts. But I think we'll stop there. So just to review, moving forward, if we did work together, we would want to set up the website sort of away from the way you have it set up right now. I think that would be ideal to forward Brianna Fox to a new website, potentially Fox Chiropractic. And then we'd want to set that up. The way I would set it up if we work together would be through an Avada theme. And there are several here that you can run through and choose. There's a health one that could work. There's the classic one, which could work. And you can check out all the other pages that this classic one has. And basically, there's also a spa one, Avada Spa. So basically the structure and the outline would all be the same, but all the words obviously and the images would change. But I'll let you kind of browse through these and you can kind of see the design, see if you like them. So that would be the one aspect. And then the other aspect would be we'd want to get this and start helping you, rank in Google. So you can see your competitors. Not that these numbers mean anything right now, but basically we would want to work on your SEO. So that would mean that you'd have your website set up, and we're going to work to get other websites linking to you. And basically these are just votes of confidence. So if you've got, a health website mentioning you, if you've got a site about back pain linking to you, if you've got a new Waterloo business site linking to you, Google is going to read that and it's going to understand that, hey, foxchiropractic.ca, it's got all these votes of references from these good related websites. It must be about the services that it says it's about. Therefore, when someone searches for chiropractor, this website seems to be optimized the best. Thus, we're going to plug it right in here in the number 1 or number 2 or number 3 spot. So right now, these are your competitors that are doing that very well. And we just want to analyze what they're doing and do a better job. So I think I'm going to leave it there, Brianna. I hope this was helpful for you. Let me know if you have any questions moving forward. The best thing to do would be to basically choose a domain name. If you don't like this one, we can try and find another one for you. And then if it is something you want to do for us to work together, then we would basically forward this site all to a new site and set it up with a new design and then get that set up. Then once you confirm your address, we'd want to get a Google My Business set up, and then we'd want to work on starting to rank you and have you found in the search engine. So in terms of timing, it could take a little bit to get the website set up, but in terms of you ranking on page 1, unfortunately, it can't be done in a few months. It's usually 3 to 6 months to actually get found and for a brand new website to be found and Google to trust it. So that's more of a long-term sort of approach to getting found online. But certainly setting up the design can be done quite quickly, and then you can kind of have people come and they can book the appointments with you through the booking platform that you're currently using, or if you switch over to Jane app or whatnot, we can certainly get people to at least come to the website, book an appointment with you, and then work on the rankings over time. So I think I'll leave it there, and let me know if you have any questions, and then we can sort of talk about the next steps moving forward if we did want to work together. Okay, thank you.